At the moment, I'm a Band 5 physiotherapist at Blackpool Victoria Hospital. And I've been working here since about July, August time of last year. I started off by working on cardiothoracic surgery in the hospital, which basically sees me treating patients who have had either heart or major lung surgery, and sort of getting them on the way after the surgery, so post-surgical sort of treatment really. I was working on there for about 6 months. And then I moved on to what we call cardiology and cardiac rehabilitation. So it's then seeing the similar patients as outpatients, but then sort of further down the line, they come to us for exercise classes and basically to try and improve their quality of life and get them back on track after their surgery. A typical week for me at the moment would see me complete exercise testing at the moment with patients who have had either heart attacks, had heart surgery, or have had sort of stents fitted around the heart. Based on them sort of exercise testing I would do at the start of the week, we then sort of prescribe exercise to the patients to then come out to our exercise classes for them to then obviously try and improve their fitness, as I've said, and try and get them back on track to where they were before, and if not better really than where they were, to try and improve their life based on what their goals would be. In between that, as I said, I do work on the wards, so some afternoons I'll be on the wards helping patients as inpatients to increase the sort of mobility, make sure that they're okay from a chest perspective, and making sure that they make recoveries from their complications as well. It is hugely rewarding. Obviously, as a young lad at Blackpool, when I was there playing, you just automatically think, as like you said, your musculoskeletal injuries, because that's all you ever know and that's all you've seen, and you know you might become injured yourself, as I did, and that's the sort of thing that pushes you on. Maybe you want to go into physio for that, but then when you go onto the course, as I did at Salford, and it opens your eyes up a little bit more about the vast variety of sort of areas involved in physio, and that it's not actually all sort of, you know, bones and muscles are based around the body, all your sports sort of injuries, and it's a lot more than that. And coming and working in a hospital environment opens your eyes up to that, because a lot of the patients are of a different age group, you know, and it is technically life or death for them at the end of the day. So the rewarding side of it is that you are, you know, potentially saving somebody's life at the end of the day, and they're very thankful for that. And it's nice to see when it does happen, but unfortunately there are times when you can't do everything you wish to do, and some people don't make it, which is the part you have to put up with sometimes as well. Prior to graduating, my final elective placement was based on a cardiothoracic surgery here at the hospital, and an interview came up at the time. I was just quite fortunate that I was working on here when the interview came on. So I had some advice from the physiotherapist who already worked here regarding, you know, interview skills and things like that. And I was just fortunate enough a couple of days after I actually finished my final day at university to be offered the job, and that was even before I'd graduated, so I was quite lucky from that perspective. But then it took a couple of months to get all my clearances through and things like that before they could then officially start. But I think the thing that helped me massively was the placements that Salford at the university could offer me, and, you know, bringing me into the environment where I'd already sort of knew the people who worked here. So it already made sure that I had that first foot in the door really already before I'd even started officially working here. Sometimes I think we've probably gone in the past and people have underestimated what we can do. You know, people just see you as a footballer as opposed to somebody who's going in straight from college in like a full-time college position, and I think you try and go in and prove people that you can do it. You know, you might have been involved in football all your life, but it doesn't mean that you've not got other interests and you've not got the knowledge there. And it's probably stereotypical to think otherwise, that, you know, footballers have got that or nothing. I mean, if you put the effort in, you put the hard work in, and that's probably where it comes from, because obviously as a footballer you do that on the pitch, you put the effort in the hard work, and you get your rewards. It's the same in the classroom. If you do it there, you get your rewards as well, and I think that's probably what it stems from. Obviously from a footballing perspective, you're a young lad who ultimately you need to prove yourself more than a first team player in a way, because they've sort of proved themselves, and they've got to a certain level and they've already professionals in a way. But as a young lad, you have more pressure on you because you've not reached that stage yet. So you've always got them eyes on you, looking at you. Obviously, it's a short space of time, 2 years as an apprentice to prove yourself. But at the same time, you know, you've got your college work on top of that as well. So you've got double pressure in a way, because you know that maybe it doesn't happen for everybody. So you know you've got the added pressure of, yeah, I do need to keep up with my education as well, which obviously you get offered that at Blackpool as well, and obviously every other club around the country. So I think it was one full day and an afternoon a week you go and you complete your college work. But for me, I did the added units through the BTEC diploma as well, because it came to the sort of point where I was and ahhing, you know, am I going to get one, am I not going to get a professional contract? And that sort of spurred me on to then say, actually, I think I need to do the extra units, you know, and put some effort in my own time as well, just to secure myself really, so that I knew I did have a different option to fall back onto. It's massive, because without that I wouldn't have been where I am now, because you need that qualification to get onto the university course in the first place, and hence why I did the extra units. But without that, I mean, some of the lads obviously don't take it as seriously as others, but it's imperative if you want to have that security in case you don't carry on in football. Obviously there's other trades out there where you don't need the qualifications, but that wasn't for me at the time, and I knew I wanted to. My other thing was going to be a physio if I didn't make it into football, and that's what I went and did. And it's just about putting the hard work in and realising that it is important to put the effort in with the education as well. I learned a lot at university in all the different areas, and I didn't want to lose that straight away. I didn't want to lose the knowledge that I'd gained straight away, so I wanted to come on to what I'm doing now, knowing I'm going to rotate into different areas after sort of 4 to 6 months, and sort of gain on what I've already learned and sort of maintain it in a way. Obviously when I continue to settle, you know, under a year is still a short time, but as I continue to settle, maybe I might go back into that, you know, do it as a sort of part-time added on to what I'm doing now, and eventually, you never know, I might end up back in there with the experience that I've gained at the moment as well.